The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola, everyone. Welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Reina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. We kick off Women's History Month, celebrating women through capoeira arts, when we sit down with ABADÁ-Capoeira co-founder and executive director Jennifer Sanchez Fagundes. And after that, we'll learn about GAP, generosity and abundance process that aims towards financial freedom through a simple shift in the way many look at their finances. Then we'll get some tips on how social media platforms such as Instagram can be used to help build your business. And then later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight features Grammy Award-winning Papo Vasquez, showcasing a piece from this year's Marches Music Series at Pregones Theater. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is coming your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Reina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche, always inviting you to get social with us online. That's right. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram. That's at BronxNet TV, or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Insta Stories, Snapchat, LinkedIn at Reina Valentin. Also, I forgot to mention, there's a new exhibition kicking off tomorrow entitled In the Boogie Down Photographs of the Bronx. And the opening reception will take place at Café Buon Gusto, located at 4572 Manhattan College Parkway. And that's happening from 4 to 6 p.m. The exhibition will be open from March 3rd through the 28th. So, our first guest, ABADÁ-Capoeira, Bronx is all about sharing and expanding the art of capoeira. And that's, of course, with communities and families throughout the borough. So as part of Women's History Month, ABCX, right, and Celebrate You will hold a special capoeira class for women. Yeah, and joining us now to tell us more about the event, we welcome co-founder and executive director of ABADÁ-Capoeira, Jennifer Sanchez. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fabulous.
Always good to be here.
Oh, we are so happy to have you. When was the last time we had you on?
I think the last time we were here, we were with the kids, a group of...
Do you remember the year?
The kids. You got me there.
No, it's
but
okay.
It was some time ago.
Like about maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, so we go way back.
Yeah,
which is great.
I think it was like 3 or 4. And the only reason I'm even bringing that up is because you've come a long way. And I'm really proud. And I want to congratulate you on air on having your own space now.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a big milestone for us to move from a rental space at a local church where we had been teaching for about 6-7 years to our own full-time Capoeira Arts Center and opening the first of its kind in the Bronx last year. So it's been wonderful.
Congratulations, Jennifer, because I know that you wanted to.
I know you know.
Yes. Yes, you wanted to make a career out of being with your family and building on this style of training that you enjoy and are a part of in developing. And the fact that it's the first of its kind here in the Bronx, and the fact that you are making it all about women this month. I can't wait to hear the details.
Yes. Well, there is always a lot of women presence. But particularly this month, in celebrating Women's History Month, and on the heels of International Women's Day, on the 10th, March 10th, we're having a women's only class. And it's going to be a beginner's class, and essentially it's an opportunity to introduce women to the art of capoeira, and for existing practitioners from our organization to find a space where we can bond, we can build, we can create together. When women come together, it's powerful.
It is, and the only reason I brought up the women aspect, because I know that women are present, because I actually visited. I did Arena Gets Lean episode.
That's right. That was a while back,
okay,
yes.
so wait a minute. I'm sorry. Now that we're talking about that, I ran the New York City Marathon 4 years ago. So we're talking more than 4 years, because I think it must have been like 5 years ago that I participated in one of your capoeira classes.
And now that we're talking about this and reminiscing about those times, I should take the opportunity to thank you for being such a supporter from day one. So thank you.
I love what you guys are doing, and I love the family feeling that you get, and I love the different age ranges. I love the style itself. It's beautiful to have a taste of Brazil here in the Bronx. I know you're married to a Brazilian.
Right.
So
that I met in capoeira.
That you met in capoeira, and now you've made it your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been wonderful. It's been an adjustment. Because it's a different lifestyle from what I had before, but it's been outstanding. And the fact that I get to work with a community, that I get to do what I love, it's been great.
We're looking at images, and I just wanted to share with everyone that they also teach certain individuals to play the instruments. So the music that goes with the capoeira, which I would like you to share a little bit more about that music and the instruments, it's played live while they're...
Oh, that's my daughter.
Oh, there! Oh my goodness! Look at her. How old is she now?
She is going to be 7 this month.
So your daughter is
being
4 raised inside of it.
Absolutely, my children, and this happens with everyone that practices capoeira. Mostly, the kids grow up in this environment where, when it comes to the music is very important in the art of capoeira, and indeed, it's percussive instruments that we play. That are specific to the art of capoeira. That's one of the things that differentiates capoeira from other martial arts. And it's just wonderful because it's healing, right? Music has healing powers. So when people come from work and you're tired and stressed out about life and things, you come to capoeira and things feel better. Right. So everyone that takes capoeira classes, that comes and trains with us, eventually, with time, they will learn how to play the instruments, how to sing. They sing in Portuguese, so they end up learning a new language also. So it's great.
So in that image that we saw, your daughter was 4, she's now 7, she's being raised in this community. Now, tell me a little bit about the families that are also growing within this community, and how large your community has grown to become. Because you've expanded since I first met you.
Absolutely.
Tremendously.
We started with, I want to say, 2-3 students. And now at our space, we have over 60 students that train consistently, and there's an age range from 3 years old to endless, right? Adults. And we have kids that have been with us since age 3. Coincidentally, last night we had 2 students that were in class, and we were talking about how tall they've gotten in the 7 years, and they were with us. They started at 5, 6, and 7. So it's wonderful to see these kids grow with capoeira and see how the principles and values that they learn within the capoeira space, they are able to apply that in their adolescence and so on in their adult life.
Right, in their life too, right? Because
Absolutely.
There's always that mirror.
A lot of our teenagers also now are in college, so we're super proud of that. And to see them, again, just grow with these values of community, collaboration, teamwork, empathy for one another is just wonderful.
Oh my goodness, how wonderful is that? I mean, I'm sitting here and my heart is filled with so much joy for you, Jennifer.
Because I know.
Yes, how wonderful is that for you as a mother? To have created a lifestyle for yourself in which your daughter is a part of and your husband is a part of, and you guys are building and enhancing our humanity.
It's a wonderful feeling, very rewarding. And it's my husband, my daughter, my kids, because I have 2 now.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, I have 2. I have a 2-year-old. His name is Tiago.
We haven't seen each other for 5 years,
I know,
so
it's been a
right?
while.
Okay. Wow, well, congratulations.
Thank you. And he's in there also, and it's just wonderful to have the kids grow up in a space, in a positive environment where they're learning so many things, and we're all together. And it's not just my husband and my kids, it's basically anyone that comes around me that becomes part of, this thing, because it's wonderful and people love it.
I know, it's like a tribe. And so, before we go, let's talk specifically about this woman initiative, right? Because I know there are women in there, and there's families in there, which is the beauty of what you guys have put together. But this particular event is geared towards women.
Absolutely. And we're partnering up with Celebrate You, which is an initiative that motivates people to celebrate themselves, not just on their birthdays or their special day, but on every time, right? Every day of the year, particularly on the 8th of each month, but encouraging people to just celebrate. There's so much to celebrate in life that sometimes we don't realize these things. So we're partnering up to do this women's event where, again, it's for women to feel comfortable, for women to bond, to meet other women from the community. I belong to a lot of Facebook parents groups, and I'm calling all the moms because I interact with them all the time, yet I don't have a face to the name. So why not build, create, and take care of ourselves, our mind and body, in a wonderful class on the 10th.
So this is specifically for women, or the women can bring their children? I just want to be clear. I want them to be clear. This is a women's day out, you doing capoeira and using capoeira as a form of therapy.
Yeah, so we're opening, the class is going to be kids ages 8, 9, and up. Are able to come to the class.
Oh, okay.
So it could be
moms can bring their kids.
Absolutely. For, again, 9 and up.
I know that regularly it's that way. I was referring to that one specific event.
Yes.
Yes, so moms are able to bring their kids, because that always makes things a lot easier and a lot more welcoming. I mean, even for myself as a mom, if my daughter's welcome, there's a better chance I'm going to go, because I want her to experience it.
And why not experience something that capoeira is it's a communal activity. It's intergenerational. And so why not do it with your children, right? It's wonderful, yes.
Wonderful. And thank you, Jennifer, for
Thank
making
you for
sure that
inviting
you
me.
kept it here.
And supporting,
Absolutely.
always.
You're doing a wonderful job, and congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
new bebé, even though he's 2 years old.
Ya un hombrecito.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I got one of those too.
I know.
It's mom talk, mom talk. However, we're very proud of you in opening up the Capoeira Arts. What's the exact name of the art center?
It's the ABADÁ-Capoeira Bronx Cultural Arts Center.
ABADÁ-Capoeira Bronx Cultural Arts Center.
And I should mention that everyone should follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, we're everywhere. Just look up ABADÁ-Capoeira Bronx, and you can find more information on our website, which is www.acbx.org.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, once again, the Capoeira class, it's taking place on March 10th, and that's at ABADÁ-Capoeira Bronx Cultural Arts Studio, located at 4685 at Manhattan College, and that's happening from 2:30 to 3:30. For more information, visit acbx.org or email info@acbx. Is it acbx?
.org.
.org. There you go. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll learn about creating a healthy relationship with your finances. We'll be right back.
And I can't change, even if I try.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind, love is patient.
welcome to Open, everyone. Don't forget, we're always inviting you to get social with us. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rina Valentin while you're there. All right, so our next guest is giving people a new way to look at their finances while redefining what it means to give generously. His steps to shift towards a new path to financial freedom is called GAP, which stands for Generosity and Abundance Process. Here to enlighten us further about this process, we welcome the CEO of Rodney Eric Lopez Enterprise, Mr. Rodney Eric Lopez.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here. I tried to introduce you as lighthearted as I could, right? And I only say that because after having visited your website, I was able to gain a little bit of insight as to this kind of being deeper than just the physical aspect of money and monetary exchanges.
That's right. That's right. And I appreciate you putting it in that context. It is more than just money exchange. I want to give this some context. The Federal Reserve Board has put out multiple studies that show that about 50% of Americans in this country, if they had to come up with $400 in an emergency, would have to pawn or sell something in order to be able to do that. A separate study by the Federal Reserve Board showed that people would not have enough liquid savings to cover more than 1 month of expenses if they lost their income. And people around the country are suffering with financial difficulty, but they're doing so under a blanket of shame, Rena. They're doing it without being able to talk about it. So what the GAP is an entryway into a new way of relating to your money and your finances with generosity and giving at the center, but it's also about uncovering and unpacking some of the shame and embarrassment we have around these money burdens we're carrying.
I like the term shame, but just by what you're saying, the first thing that popped in my head was scarcity.
Absolutely.
There's that mindset, and I think part of it has to do with, and I'm just going to use myself as an example because I'm an urban product. I'm a product of the urban community, and we're not necessarily taught how to play with money.
That's right.
And play with money not in the sense of like how to really be generous with it, like you're saying, and understand that actually opens up the space to invite more to come in.
Absolutely.
And although it may not make sense, I'm really looking forward to hearing how you're going to break this down to everyone.
So the typical, first of all, I want to say that there's a lot of great personal finance wisdom out in the marketplace. Lots of great books. I've read most of them. And what a lot of them focus on is what you have to give up in order to achieve financial health. And there is some measure of discipline, personal discipline that's involved in that. But what I'm talking about is a reorienting from a scarcity perspective to a generosity and an abundance perspective. So what does that mean in practical terms? What that means is when I look at my budget on a week-to-week or a month-to-month basis, can I look at it from the perspective of what I have to give as opposed to what I have to give up or what I don't have? And I believe very strongly, and by the way, this comes from lived experience, right? This is not a theory. This comes from lived experience, that when one can adopt a giving practice, meaning there's a cause that I'm committed to, that I feel committed to in my heart, and I believe that giving a certain percentage of my income towards that cause, whether it's a faith community, whether it's a nonprofit or a charity, whatever that is, but if I can commit in some small way to giving in a financial way, that shifts the energy around your money and around your budget. It creates space, number one, for you to live on less than 100% of your income. It begins to introduce priority and focus on your budget in a way that maybe you wouldn't be able to otherwise. And then lastly, what it does is, as you mentioned, it creates space for new things to come in. And it's not always going to be money, but it might be peace, it might be resources. And this is a foundational spiritual principle that exists regardless of whether you believe it or not. It's there. And that's what the GAP does. The GAP sort of uncovers, demystifies some of that, and invites people into that process.
No, I love it. And when I was going through your website, I was like, oh, this kind of comes across as somewhat metaphysical, right? Yeah. And what I did get from it is there's that practice of what you persist, what you resist persists.
Persists, yes.
And so in resisting the money, then the money, of course, presents itself in a scarce form.
That's right.
But if you kind of like treat it like it's like, I mean, I'm not saying to throw it away,
Right.
but if you just treat it like it's not, like, oh, it's not going to make its way back,
Mm-hmm.
then it somehow presents itself in other forms because, again, there's compensation that the universe provides in other realms.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything, if you hold on to something too tightly, then you're never in a position to receive something else. And the universe, God, however you perceive spirituality, is waiting to give you something. The force that creates us is not going to let us flounder. The guiding spirit that has brought all of us into existence and into being is not going to let us is not going to let us wither away. But we've got to trust that that's going to happen. And there are some really practical things, right? Because when I have this conversation, some people can kind of shut down and say that sounds a little bit too out there, right?
I know, right?
And it really isn't. There's some practical things one can do, and I always start with what is the first principle in the process, which is called naming and claiming your money story. We each have a relationship with our money that goes back historically, back to our childhood. Some of it is positive, some of it is negative. And until we can access that and process it and write it down, then we're not aware of the patterns we have around money, right? And I think, and that's a first step, first practical step we can take.
Right, that's like the foundation.
Absolutely.
And so before we go, I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is available to them online.
Yes.
So let's talk about your workshops.
Please. I have created a course, the Generosity and Abundance Process online course. So you can actually go online. You can go to my website, rodneyericlopez.com. There's a link to a digital course that you can take at your own pace. There are video lessons, there are interviews with some incredible thought leaders on there, and there are downloadable worksheets in PDF form. So you can do this at your own pace, you can do it on your phone, you can do it on your computer, on your tablet, whatever, and you can take it at your own pace. And there are other products that will be coming out in the near future. I'm writing a book, so there's ways to access this right now.
Okay, so but before we go, and thank you for inviting everyone to do it at their own pace. However, I just always feel that there's a sense of accountability that needs for somebody to genuinely move forward.
Yes.
So how do you work that out?
Well, I'm reachable via my email, and what I'm also looking to do is I'm looking to create what I'm calling the Gap Intensive, which is sort of a loving accountability group around this. And so there are limited spaces for that, and you can contact me on my website, and we can talk about how we get people into this intensive.
All right, thank you so much.
Rena, thank
Rodney.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Rodney Eric Lopez, you guys, I'm looking forward to doing this course. For more information on GAP and how you can participate online, the courses are available at rodneyericlopez.com. Okay, we're taking a quick break, but coming up, we'll learn how you can use Instagram to promote and build your brand. Don't want to miss that.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to stay connected with us. That's right. By liking us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And so today and age, that is, in order for your business or brand to thrive, you need to be present on all social media platforms. And, well, it serves as a quick way for customers to find and connect with your business. And so joining us now to share more social media tips, some social media tips, and introduce his upcoming Instaclass workshop, please welcome Sofrito Media Group, Inc. founder, George Torres, also known as Urban Jibaro. We endearingly refer to you as Urban Jibaro.
I love it. I love to cultivate. That's what I do.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Welcome back.
Yes.
I'm glad to be back.
That's where I'm saying welcome. I know. And when was the last time I had you on?
2015, when we were promoting the Positive Impact Awards for Hispanicize.
2015.
2016? No, 2015.
No, 2015. Okay, so you were here a little sooner than Jennifer. No, okay. No, because I personally really enjoy inviting guests back and sharing with our viewers where you are, thriving in your business, and just, you know, whatever it is that we can offer to assist our viewers in elevating, right?
Thank you for the platform.
Absolutely. And so now you're here in the Bronx.
Yep.
You're doing this wonderful workshop at the Mott Haven Bar and Grill. I mean, you've been doing it online, but for those who are not so online savvy, I think this interview is going to serve as a way for you guys to understand the importance of how to utilize these tools to serve as free marketing for your businesses, you know? So let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing so far, because you have kind of been already giving these tutorials through Insta stories, right?
Yes.
So let's do basic, because we may not have people who understand the language at all.
Absolutely. So on Insta stories, what I did, I created a 7-day curriculum, just some quick tips on how to, for people who are already kind of familiar with the platform, for them to really get into it and then learn how to use some apps and everything to enhance the production value of what they're putting out.
In
right?
the Insta stories.
In my highlights, my Instagram account.
In your highlights. Okay, so see, this is what I mean. Like, let's give them insight about Instagram, and then from Instagram into the highlights, and as well as Instagram. Okay. How about we go Instagram, Insta stories, and then the highlights in Insta stories.
So Instagram is a visual storytelling platform that's owned by Facebook that allows people to really take people behind the scenes in their business. So there's the Instagram front end, which is what we currently know, pictures, posts, etc. They just created a new level of a Snapchat duplicate or competitor called Insta Stories. So now you're able to take people behind the scenes within your business or your project or whatever and kind of give them a behind the scenes look and video. It's super engaging. Right now, Insta Stories is actually trending 300 million views a day, which is like twice as much as Snapchat.
Okay, so I do want to add into there, because I'm an Insta Stories queen. I love Insta Stories.
You do well.
I do. I love Insta Stories, and it's because it's so quick, and I move so quickly that it's kind of like, okay, let me capture it and just keep it moving. We don't have to figure out exactly what the narrative is going to be writing-wise, right? But the thing about Insta Stories is that it expires every 24 hours, unless you save it, of course, to your phone.
So you could save it, but one of the tips that I'm going to give you is that you could use the highlight section to actually curate a collection of particular things that can actually live on your site. So that's the highlight section right under your bio. There's these round circles that you can create, and these, like for example, mine is the 7-day class. I have something that I did with AARP recently called Disrupting Disparities, and I did something for Valentine's Day showing people how I love myself. So there's different stories that you could tell that you can keep on there permanently. You could use that as a way to advertise a particular promotion in your business. There's a lot of ways that you could use it, but it's a permanent story that lives on your profile permanently.
Yeah, no, I love it. I have to change mine. Mine is all about Whoopi Goldberg, Rosie Perez, for when I was at the Women's March, just because it was a proud moment for me to have these people on camera and be able to interview them.
Absolutely.
Right, so that's on my Insta Story highlights. However, I like what you're saying with regards to the Insta Story highlights serving almost like a quick taste of things that you've done in the past, so that people understand how you're using your Insta Stories.
Yeah, so I monetize. So I teach this class, but I teach this class because I practice it, right? So I've been considered an influencer. I've worked as a JetBlue ambassador. I've worked for Toyota and Lexus. I've done work for Prudential and Wells Fargo and a lot of other companies. And what I want to show people is how I've been able to monetize. So I made the class a group session so it could be accessible to the community. And the Bronx has been literally asking me to come up here like forever, and I just been hesitant. I partnered with Rosa from Mott Haven Bar and Grill because she was doing some stuff that was really aligned with my goals, and she's an example of good social media and how she's using her brand to elevate. So I thought it was a good mix. So here I am.
Okay, no, and we're lucky. We're lucky to bring you to the Bronx because you're hailing all the way from Brooklyn, but you're giving the classes here in the Bronx, and we're happy to have you here on our show, giving our viewers a little taste of what's being offered next. I think it's March 10th, right?
March 10th. So a week from tomorrow.
So the thing about it is that, and I just want to be clear because some people get intimidated with social media, and so I don't know if our language is too advanced for some, and so I wanted to know what levels you're going to be teaching.
So this is somebody who knows how to use the platform in terms of the mechanics, like how to post, but don't really have a strategy behind it. So this is really about me actually helping you get the tools that you need to have a strategy, to be able to measure results, and ultimately figure out what the ROI is, the return on investment. How much time you're spending versus how much money you're bringing in, or how active your campaign is, because it may not be about money. It may be about human capital. It may be about volunteers. It may be about community service, et cetera. So I just want to be able to give people the tools that they need to be able to execute, to feel good about it, to feel authentic on social, but then also really measure results. Analytics are a big part of my class. I want people to understand how it's working.
So I get it, and so what you're saying is like you're gonna teach people how to engage more followers or more interaction from an authentic place while being able to gauge their business,
Exactly.
in a sense, or their marketing, right? Because even though the marketing is free, as I said, it's technically not because you're investing time. So, I like that. That sounds lovely.
And speaking of time, one of the most important pieces of the session is that we actually give you tools that help you focus on your business. So you don't have to be on your phone 24/7. We teach you tips and tricks on how you can collect content and then reformat it later to put it out. It doesn't have to be in real time all the time, especially if it's for business.
Right. So you're saying you're going to introduce the tools in which you can kind of like
Time
set
saving,
it up. Time saving,
efficiency measures. You know, I do a lot of my stuff on Sunday. The stuff that I already know that's going to happen, I set it on Sunday. And then if I have moments like this where it's like, oh God, I'm with Rena, then I kind of like jump in and do extra stuff. But there's a baseline. So I want to teach people how to do that baseline so they're always present online, their business is always working for them, but they could actually focus on their business as well.
Lovely. So how many hours are we talking?
We're talking 4 hours. There's, like an hour built in for breaks, and I have a local mobile service, a mobile phone service that's actually going to be donating some food to enhance the event, and they're going to be showing us some of their lineup of phones. So we're looking at 3 hours of class time and then 1 hour of miscellaneous networking and conversations.
I can't help but laugh because you just you shouted out your previous employer.
I know. I really love them. I love them.
It's all good.
I love them. I
think that's good.
I'm still a customer.
So
17 years. I'm still a customer.
We know each other for so many years, and I know that.
And that's where it comes from. Some of the business acumen that I got from there actually really helped me when I decided at my 10th anniversary with the company to move on to doing my own thing full time. The business acumen that I got there and the work that I'd done for T-Mobile was actually a big cornerstone in my foundation.
And you've been doing such a wonderful job, especially within the Latino community, not exclusively to the Latino community, but focused on the Latino community as your primary community, and I acknowledge you for that.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And a lot of what I'm doing actually resonates with the rest of the program. It's about designing the life that you want, like the young lady that was just here. It's about financial abundance and actually being able to help the community, but not do the Ponzi scheme of like, I'm going to your event, here's $10. You come to my event, here's $10. No, let's amplify our voices.
Right.
Let's build it. Let's build real community, and let's be global.
Yeah. Let's be global. Let's be a global tribe.
Let's be competitive.
Well, be competitive, but healthy competitive.
No, when I mean competitive, I mean competitive with the space.
Competitive, right.
If you're a cupcake company, then go out there and compete. Don't compete as a Latino cupcake company.
Right.
Compete as a really good cupcake company that happens to be run by a Latino or Latina.
Got it. I like that.
And that's where I'm at right now. That's my
there
mindset.
We go. Yeah, I love it. It's a great closure because now we're back to the mindset. Everything in this show seems to be about mindset and creating communicating with your thoughts.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for
I
giving
love
me
you so
the, the technical aspect of it. And you guys, there's more, okay? The Instaclass workshop is taking place at Mott Haven Bar and Grill, which is located at 1 Bruckner Boulevard, and that's taking place Saturday, March 10th from 12 noon to 4 p.m. You can get tickets by going to Eventbrite, and that's instaclassbx.eventbrite.com. That's instaclassbx.event.com. Eventbrite.com. All right, you guys, stay tuned because, Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
We begin our look at sports from the BronxNet Sports Desk on the baseball diamond in Florida, where hotshot prospect Miguel Andujar turns 23 years young today. The Yankee rookie third baseman has been celebrating since camp opened. He has been absolutely en fuego and may be making new manager Aaron Boone's job difficult when spring training breaks later this month. Andujar went 2 for 4 Thursday. He's hitting .429 with 4 homers this spring. His bombs both came off first pitch fastballs, and honestly, he just can't stop hitting dingers right now. Newly acquired Brandon Drury went 1 for 3 and is hitting .375. He also homered. His blast came in the 5th inning when he hammered an inside curveball off righty Zach Eflin. It was his first homer of the spring. Drury has high praise for Andujar, and despite the rookie's hot start, Drury might still be the front runner for the position. Drury came over from the Diamondbacks in a 3-team trade more than a week ago. Kid's a stud, Drury said of Andujar. He's a really good player, playing really good right now. A little competition is always a good thing. The Bombers will host Atlanta today, travel to face the Boston Red Sox tomorrow, and be back in Tampa Bay to face the Rays at home on Sunday. In other Yankee news, Clint Frazier is getting over a mild concussion. The Pinstripers are experimenting with Jacoby Ellsbury in left field, and Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge are locked in a potential competition for the number 2 spot in the batting order. Sanchez hit a mammoth home run earlier this week that I still think has not landed. Speaking of home runs, NFL quarterback Russell Wilson has looked comfortable in Yankee camp. On the first day of spring training, he hit 6 home runs in batting practice. I wonder if the Seattle signal caller would ever consider making a move to baseball. I think if he dedicated his time to America's pastime, he would likely be as successful on the diamond as he has been on the gridiron. Out at Mets camp, as Asdrubal Cabrera keeps getting opportunities at leadoff and producing, the veteran infielder is a possibility for that spot to start the season. Manager Mickey Callaway said on Thursday the new skipper has been inserting Cabrera at leadoff primarily to get him more at-bats before he is removed from exhibition games, but the results have been positive. Cabrera is 4 for 7, hitting .571 overall this spring from the leadoff spot. Brandon Nimmo, Jose Reyes, and Todd Frazier are among the other candidates to bat leadoff. The Mets are home in Port St. Lucie for Washington today. They are on the road in Florida for Houston Saturday and Miami on Sunday. On the NFL gridiron, the Jets have released Mo Wilkerson, while teammate Matt Forte, we just saw him there, has announced his retirement. For those wondering, with the release of Wilkerson and the retirement of Forte, the Jets now have $90.1 million in cap room. The Jets are negotiating with their own free agents and are expected to tender Quincy Enunwa. Rumors continue to swirl that the Jets are all in on free agent quarterback Kirk Cousins. Gang Green is also potentially rumored to move up in the NFL draft. Both the Jets and the Giants could be looking at Notre Dame lineman Quentin Nelson. He's impressed scouts, coaches, and executives at the Combine. He bench pressed 225 pounds 35 times on Thursday. Oh boy. Nelson, who is from New Jersey, is also viewed as the best offensive lineman in this year's draft and someone who could be a plug-and-play starter as a rookie. The Jets are a logical destination for Nelson if they sign Cousins in free agency, removing themselves from the quarterback derby in the NFL draft. The New York Rangers will be turning to the draft this year. The Broadway Blue Shirts face an unfamiliar challenge after stockpiling picks for the June draft, maximizing a franchise record 10 selections, including 3 in the first round. For the Rangers, they dealt Rick Nash, Captain Ryan McDonough, and fellow standout JT Miller before the trade deadline. Nash went to Boston. Here in the Big Apple, plans to overhaul the aging core of a roster that helped New York make the playoffs in each of the previous 7 seasons, including the team that lost the 2014 Stanley Cup Final in 5 games to the LA Kings. New York is slipping out of playoff contention with a 6-17 record in the past 23 games since January 7th. Despite snapping a 7-game slide Wednesday in overtime, the Rangers are in Calgary tonight and at Edmonton on Saturday. On the college basketball hardwood, Virginia took advantage of a Louisville miscue Thursday night, winning on a buzzer 3. The Cavaliers' DeAndre Hunter sank the winning 3 after the Cardinals turned the ball over on an inbounds play with less than a second left. There have already been some late season upsets with conference tournaments opening up. The ACC tourney will hit Brooklyn's Barclays Center next week, and we'll have you covered right here on BronxNet. As for the 2 locals last week on the show that we talked about, both the Lehman College men and the Purchase College men, they fell in their respective conference championships. In the UFC, Chris Cyborg will look to defend her UFC featherweight title on Saturday night, while Frankie Edgar and Brian Ortega will square off in a crucial featherweight fight. Meanwhile, UFC star John Jones has been fined and had his fighting license revoked after a hearing in front of the California State Athletic Commission. The first judgment in the Jones UFC 214 doping case has been handed down, and while it's likely to be the less serious of the 2, the commission has still handed Jones a hefty fine. I think we'll be seeing Jones, or Bones, as we like to say, probably for not another year or 2 in the octagon. And on a final sports roundup note, the Knicks will be in L.A. to face the Clippers tonight. The Nets will then be in L.A. to face the Clippers on Sunday. The Knicks will follow up on the road trip with Sacramento. The Kings beat the Nets Thursday night, 116-111. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for the Bronx boy that should either be a Jet or a Giant this April. Penn State running back Saquon Barkley was born in the Bronx and rooted for the New York Jets growing up. Hall of Famer Curtis Martin was his favorite player. Barkley's father has a red Jets tattoo on his left arm. The Jets have the 6th pick in the draft, and if for some crazy reason he falls that far, it's a no-brainer for Gang Green to snatch Barkley. There have also been rumors that the Jets could trade up and try to leapfrog the Giants, whose brass said this week that they have no problem taking a running back at number 2, despite all the rumors about them taking a quarterback. Barkley pledged his love to the Jets on Thursday. Open quote, "I was a New York Jets fan growing up," close quote, he said Thursday at the NFL Scouting Combine. "My dad said I used to sit there at a very young age and watch football with him and tell him I'm going to play for that team one day." The Cleveland Browns, those New York Giants, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Denver Broncos might have something to say about that. They're picking ahead of the Jets in the draft, and the odds of him falling appear very slim, especially with the Browns holding the 1st and the 5th picks in the NFL draft. To me, Barkley is the real deal. I've already said it on the show recently that he's the best player in the draft. I think he's a difference maker. Plus, how could you count against a kid from the Bronx? That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. So Pregones Theater, PRTT, is celebrating music all month long for their series March is Music. And here to share about his upcoming performance is legendary Grammy-winning musician, trombonist, Pablo Vasquez. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
That's how I'm going to introduce you. Go. I know how rough it is for you musicians to be up this early in the morning.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Why is it always such a big deal for musicians to be up early in the morning?
I actually nominated one of the other performers. I think it was Arturo Farah. I told Alban, I said, why don't you call Arturo for this spot? It's kind of early in the morning, but we're fine. We're fine.
But I'm happy that you made it.
Oh, I'm very happy to be here.
We would love to have Arturo as well, but I know it's always a thing for musicians. It's like, oh, early in the morning, it's like sacrilegious for you guys.
Well, you know, actually nowadays we don't. Our performances are earlier. They're not like, you know, like in the old days when we used to perform till 4 o'clock in the morning. Those clubs don't exist no more. Thank God.
So, you know, you've been part of March's music a couple of years in a row. Why don't you give us a little background about this series?
Well, I think it's curated. Well, no, it is curated by El Maestro Alban Colon. We're very good friends, and I feel very blessed that I've been, I'm part of their family. You know, the Pregones family, and this is like my 5th performance at Teatro Pregones over what we're talking about, like 10, 15 years already. But they've been a blessing. They're a blessing to the community, you know?
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Have a beautiful theater. But they've been around for, I think, more than 25 years, I think.
Yes, they've been around for a while, and the quality and the elegance that they bring to the Bronx in their presentations is phenomenal.
And they're handling the theater on 42nd Street. They used to belong to Miriam Colon.
Correct. That's why it's called Pregones PRTT now, because now they have the other theater, which is on 47th.
And it's well deserved because they know what they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
And they have good taste.
Well, yeah. If he may say so himself, that's okay. I'll take it. But let's talk a little bit about you and your journey. I mean, you know, you're quite the humble musician. I mean, you've traveled extensively, and you're a Grammy Award-winning musician, and you've played with the best, and you're still, you know, you always make sure you come back to the Bronx, and you're here, accessible to us, the local community.
Accessible, you know, you could always stay in contact with what I'm doing through my website, which is Papo Vasquez, VAZQUEZ.com. And, you know, last year we celebrated my 40th birthday. My 40th anniversary.
I was going to say, wow, you 40 years
my
old?
My birthday was Saturday, but it wasn't 40. I'll tell you that. My 40th anniversary.
You're hilarious.
And, you know, I was born and raised in Philadelphia, but I consider, I've been living longer in New York City, so I'm basically more from the Bronx than from Philadelphia, because I've been here since, 1975.
Well, congratulations on your 40th anniversary.
And the music, yeah, it was
celebrated
at Bronx
and happy
Hostel
birthday,
Center for
even
the
though you don't
Performing
want to
Arts.
share that. I'm sorry. No, what were you saying? You did Hostel Center for the
That
Performing Arts?
That was last year. We did my 40th anniversary in the music. Thanks to the Bronx. Thank you so much for
for highlighting you.
Adopted me.
Right, but why wouldn't we? I mean, you're like a musical genius. And so I want to talk a little bit about the CD, because this is your new CD, and this is what you're going to be playing, right?
Yes, and that was actually, that was an idea by Alban Colon. We were we were talking about this for about 2 or 3 years. I kept on going in one direction, and he kept on saying, no, I want you to do this Johann Sebastian Bach's Goldberg Variations. When he said that to me, I said, first of all, the Goldberg Variations, let me go see what it is. And it's a piece that he wrote for 2 pianos, Johann Sebastian Bach. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if it's true or not, because people, they make stories up and stuff over the years, but the Goldberg Variations were commissioned to Johann Sebastian Bach by a count or some rich guy back there like 200 years ago, who had insomnia. So it's a nocturnal music. It was music for the guy to try to fall asleep on.
Okay, but you're gonna wake us up now, right?
I'm gonna try to wake.
You're gonna give us a little taste of it.
But what we did, we created we took 12, because the variations are 32 different little pieces of music that Johann Sebastian. That's why they call the Goldberg Variations, because he wrote one song, and then from that one song he created 32 other little pieces, 31. And me and my piano player, we chose 12 of them, and we created jazz variations on them.
I'm looking forward to hearing
for a jazz
it.
Quartet.
Nice. So it's going to be played with the quartet, but you're going to give us a little taste now,
and
right?
the band is Rick Jermison on piano, Ariel Robles on the bass, and Alvester Garnett on the drums.
And then, of course, Papo Vasquez.
And Papo Vasquez.
And the trombone. All right, so what are you going to let's give us a little. Yeah, vamos. You ready? I got you up early in the morning. I can't help myself. I feel like it. Oh my gosh. Thank you again
Thank
for
you,
that.
Rena.
Before
Thank
we
you.
go, let's share with everybody where they can see you and where they can get your CD.
March 17, 2018 at Teatro Pregones. That's between 149th Street and 150th Street on Walton Avenue in the Bronx. They have a marvelous, modern little theater, and you'll have a wonderful time with us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Please come.
Woo,
But
Papa Vasquez.
But they have the whole month. It's March's Music.
Right. March's Music is an entire month series. And once again, Papa Vasquez will be performing on Saturday, March 17th at Pregones Theater, located at 575 Walton Avenue. And it's not too late to get tickets because it's the whole month of March, and March is madness. So be sure to visit pregonesprtt.org for tickets and the entire March's Music series lineup. That is our show today, mi gente. Woo! Thanks to all of our guests for coming through, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recable cast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. Yo, I'm Rina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor, y happy Women's History Month.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.